on the foundation for the younger generation, on the foundation for the younger generation.
I say hi to all the listeners of Youth Drive on Foundation Radio. Youth Drive is an educative program brought to you by young volunteers of Youth Outreach Program Cameroon. So dear listeners, today we want to continue our series of topics on the United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development, also known as Rio Plus 20 Summit. Our topic is the future we want. This edition of Youth Drive is an opportunity for you listening to us right now to tell us the type of future you want. My name is and remains Bukenina, and I am your presenter. Seated beside me is
Asa B. Christel, and I will say a special welcome to our dear listeners. And I want to welcome you to the show and start by introducing our first musical piece of the day, which is entitled Un Truc de Fou by Tufan.
Tufan, enjoy.
2.5 down, 6 shadow, 4 forward, drift into the right level, 4 forward, drift into the right level.
Un truc de fou, rien que pour vous, ça vient de chez nous.
Wow, welcome back to the studio. You were listening to Truc de Fou by Tufan. So our topic of today, as Ella said, dear listener, is the future we want. The future we want is a global initiative launched by the United Nations for the Rio Plus 20 conference to envision what we want our lives and communities to be like in 20 years from now. So ideas from across the world will be made visible to the global public and the global decision makers during the conference. So this is the reason why the purpose of today's show is to invite all of you listening to us to share your voices through this international campaign and to share your vision for making a sustainable world. Our contact number for sharing your idea is 75872265. So we want you to call and give us the type of future you want for your life, for your community, and for your family. Let me repeat the number, 75872265. You can text us a message, or you can call lively and give your contribution. So while waiting for your contribution, Krista is going to give us some information concerning the Rio Plus 20 Summit.
Yeah, Nina. So, after the 1992 summit, which took place in Rio and laid the groundwork for sustainable issues concerning development, now comes Rio Plus 20, which is the short name for the United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development. And it will be taking place at Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, in June 2012. That is 20 years after the landmark 1992 Earth Summit in Rio. Rio is also an opportunity to look ahead to the world we want in 20 years. At the Rio Plus 20 conference, world leaders, along with thousands of participants from the private sector, NGOs and other groups, will come together to shape how we can reduce poverty, advance social equity, and ensure environmental protection on an ever more crowded planet. The official discussions will focus on two main themes, which is how to build a green economy to achieve sustainable development and lift people out of poverty, and how to improve international coordination for sustainable development. Note should also be taken that Rio Plus 20 is a new opportunity to think globally so that we can all act locally to secure a common future.
Wow. That was a clear background of the Rio Plus 20 Summit on Sustainable Development. And Rio Plus 20 is a historic opportunity to define a future with more jobs, more clean energy, greater security, and a decent standard of living for all. So this is Youth Drive, an educative program where you can contribute your ideas on what a sustainable future might look like for you, your family, and your community. Let me repeat the number you can call in order to contribute. The number is 75872265. You can call or text your message using this number 75872265. And then I would like you to know that the fact that you will call is going to be very important, because your comment or your idea will be posted in our Facebook page, and after online voting, the 2 best ideas will be awarded with a prize. So if you know that you have anything to say concerning the future you want, maybe you want a future with most of job for young people, you want a future where young people access updated information, relevant updated information, good for their career and their personal life. So, as I said, this is a competition I'm just opening now for you to give your view or your comment.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, a great one, because, everybody wants a good future, but to have a good future, you must participate and play your own part. We cannot just sit and hope on the government or on others. We have to share our ideas and work as a team to have a better future.
When Christelle was presenting the background of the Rio Plus 20 Summit, she said that it's an occasion whereby many decision makers, youth associations, civil societies organizations are going to meet in Brazil this June in order to decide on how they think that the world can be well managed in order to secure a better life for each and everyone living there. So, dear listener, while waiting for your own contribution to this number 75872265, coming up now is our next musical track by Cabo Snob in the title
Abra Abra Abra.
Enjoy.
Yeah! DJ, para música chata lambumba. Eu então não tenho nenhum problema com a dama, mas quando vem que eu dei combo, elas só querem me tumba.
I am Kelvin Gwang Shemgong.
I am Mokom Philemon.
I am Achu Sanji. I'm Mokom Nova. I'm Mokom Sharon.
I am Nils Stober.
I'm Lance Weitsdorfer.
I'm Patient Akwinja.
I'm Yvonne Frinui Takwe.
I'm Tala Adama. Miss Mboringong Fideli. I am Achu Jue.
You are listening to Youth Drive on Foundation Radio.
That was our Youth Drive slot after listening to the piece Abra 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 by Cabo Snob. And at this point, we want to remind you that Youth Drive is a weekly educative program on Foundation Radio where we talk about topics that are of great concern to young people. Today's topic is the future we want in relation to the UN Conference on Sustainable Development. The UN will bring the world together in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, to discuss and decide how to accelerate action for a healthier, more equitable, and more prosperous world for all. There will be government leaders, business CEOs, farmers, scientists, academics, and community activists at Rio. There will be leaders of women's group, indigenous people from many organizations, and trade unions, not forgetting youth movements.
Yes, of course. And additionally, the UN Conference on Sustainable Development in Rio offers an opportunity to look ahead to the world we want in 20 years. In 20 years, it will be the place where we decide on what we need to do in order to realize the vision of a better world or a better future. So to find out what the world we want will look like, we need to hear from you. We need to know what kind of world you out there listening to us would like to live in 20 years from now. So to join the global conversation, please call us or text us your message using this number 75872265. So that if you call us or send your message, you can contribute your ideas on what a sustainable future might look like for you, for your family, or your community. So if you see a particular problem within the area where you are living and you want to address it out, maybe when you used to go towards our own local government representative, they are not having that, they are not doing anything, they are just passive. They are not taking action to change the situation. So Rio Plus 20 Summit on Sustainable Development is an occasion, an opportunity for you to make your voice heard, because all the contributions or comments will be taken into consideration. So our phone number is 75872265. You are waiting for your calls or your text message. And don't forget that your comment or your address will be posted in our Facebook page. And after online voting, that is when you send us a message or when you call us lively, we are going to read your message here on Youth Drive at Foundation Radio. Additionally, we'll go back to our office, send the message in our Facebook page, and many people internationally in different countries are going to vote for your comment. And the two best comments will be awarding a prize. So we want to hear from you.
Yeah, we want to know what your questions are. What are your plans, your expectations, or comments? So we will be talking on the themes that will be discussed at Rio Plus 20. But before we do that, I would like to invite this great artist, Chris Brown, to sing for us the title,
Forever.
One, two, three, four.
Youth Outreach Program Cameroon.
Founded in 1993 as a youth association.
Started functioning in 1995 and strongly committed to working with young people,
fighting poverty and inequalities in their communities.
Our vision:
we seek a Cameroon where all young people
contribute to the development of their communities,
gain and share valuable skills vital for adulthood,
live healthy lifestyles,
have equal opportunities.
Our mission:
empower young people with skills needed to make informed decisions,
thus creating a better society where they are healthy,
responsible,
and actively involved in the development process.
Youth Outreach Program:
developing skills,
enhancing capacity,
building the future.
Youth Drive
on the foundation.
Youth Drive
for the younger generation.
Welcome back. You just listened to the Youth Outreach Program slot, and the Youth Outreach Program is a community-based organization whose activities are focused on youth education and community development. Let's continue with our topic of today on the future we want. And dear listeners, as we said at the beginning of this show today is an opening competition for you to give your ideas and comments on the type of the future you want. Your ideas will be brought in our Facebook page, and then through international and voting from the different parts of the world, we are going to select 2 winners for prizes. So during the Rio Plus 20 Summit, that is a United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development, many themes are going to be tackled during that conference, and among those themes we have water, we have food, we have jobs, we have cities, forests, oceans, and disasters. My next question is to know what are the present and current issues affecting young people in Cameroon, and particularly here in the northwest region of Cameroon. So, Christelle, what do you think are the main problems young people are facing now? Because I believe that the primary aim of Rio Plus 20 Summit is to identify all those problems that young people who are leaders of tomorrow are facing in order to look for solutions that can overcome those problems. So what do you think are the problems young people are usually face?
Well, if you ask me, I will say the main problem young people are facing now is the problem of jobs, because we see many young people moving around with certificates, carrying documents, files, in search of jobs, but they don't seem to get anything. So I think this particular theme was identified to be discussed at Rio because they want the young people to shine. This is their time to shine. They have to work now to be better put tomorrow.
Of course.
Yeah, we will not wait for those who are ruling today to rule us again tomorrow. We need to learn from them and contribute our own ideas so that when tomorrow comes, those coming behind us will know we worked for it. We did not have jobs, but we did what we could to make them have better opportunities.
What I also noticed concerning this issue of jobs, that is unemployment here in Cameroon, is that young people lay too much on the government.
Yeah, you're right.
For them, they cannot have that idea that since I'm a graduate from the university or from a professional school, the government must provide me a job. Without knowing that, they can come out with their own initiative, that is coming out with business, small-scale business activities in order to generate income.
Yeah.
Instead of saying that, no, the government will provide me a job. If you don't do anything for yourself, how do you think the government can provide you everything?
Yeah, they
we are
should be
living in
self-employed.
of course. We are living in a country where there are more than 20 million people. Imagine a government who have what can I say? Who have less than 100 people taking care of the entire country. How do you think 100 people can take care of each of us, 20 million people? So we have to, as young people, to be creative, to come out with innovative ideas in order to be self-employed.
Yeah,
and then,
right.
Christelle, young people, when I met one day with a group of young people, I told them that one was having a master's degree in political science, one was having a degree in social science. So I asked them that, what are you people doing actually? They said that no, the country is very difficult. They're looking for a means to migrate abroad, to go somewhere else out of this country and try their life. So I was asking myself, why come that you did not maybe come up with an initiative so that they were selling they opened their store.
Yes.
But due to the government policy and regulation, so what
tax.
do you think? It seems as if young people should not be blamed alone. We should also put the burden on the government head. Because if you are putting policies that are more than what young people can afford, how do you want them? So what do you think concerning the government issue of policies and
I don't know, but we young people should put in mind that before we came, these policies were already there. We have come. It's our turn to work so that these policies will be changed. We cannot just tell the government to change it. If we don't work for these policies to be changed, they will never be changed. We will not sit and keep on saying the government is doing this, the government is doing that. What will we do when our own turn comes? That's what matters.
Of course.
Yeah.
So we should stop saying that the government have increased taxes. Let us go towards those government representatives and complain
and find out why are these
for
taxes,
our rights.
Yeah, why are these taxes high? Then that's when we start looking for solutions.
Okay. So, dear listener, you can contribute in this show by dialing this number 75872265. You can also text us your message so that we should read, and as we said in this studio, it's a competition. The good ideas or comments are going to be awarded. So the next problem young people are facing is this issue of insufficient or limit participation in decision making.
Yeah.
You come in a country when you want to look at the top, right to the bottom, you are seeing only pa. I see only old men. I mean, men that are already tired. They need retirement. They need to rest. So young people are put aside when decisions concerning their life have been taken. When I talk about young people, I'm talking also about young women. Women are like people who are just in the air to deliver children and be household. No.
I don't know why that idea still reigns that women are meant to stay at home. Because it's time for the women to come out and stand for their rights and say, I can also take part in the government of my country. I also have my own ideas. I have to propose them. What can be done about it? Well, concerning youths with limitation participation in decision-making process, I would say it's really a great issue that has to be tackled because those ahead of us can't keep making decisions that will affect us when we can't give our own contributions. We have to contribute. We have to tell them this is what we want. This is how we want things to go. We cannot keep saying yes to everything. No. We must tell them no. Why don't we put this instead of this? Why is this not introduced instead of this? That's why Rio Plus 20 is there. So that the young people will come out with their ideas. And these ideas will be brought out at the conference and will be discussed. Who knows? Maybe by the end of the conference, the young people will be put at the top, of course, to work together with those ahead.
Because young people are the leaders of tomorrow. I'll keep on saying like that because that's the truth. Tomorrow, when all those government representatives that are actually ruling the various countries worldwide,
they would have retired.
When they would die, who will now take over? We are the young people who are going to take over when they will leave this world. So another problem is lack of information. Wow. You see a young person, he has that access of internet because to navigate or to browse in the internet today is very cheap. 1 hour is 300. You cannot tell me that you can lag 300 to go and browse for your own
to get information.
So young people will see that it's very important to take that 300, go to the internet and date young girls or young boys or old men. Look for information that are unnecessary to them.
Well, concerning this issue of information, it's not only the internet. We have radios, we have the TV, we have newspapers.
Of course.
But the young people, you will not see a young person going to get a newspaper, let me read information. No, I want to get the latest fashion. They need to get the information. The radios are there, the televisions are there. You need to listen to what they have got for you. But most young people will prefer listening to music, watching films. That's just entertainment. They need to be informed. They need to know what is happening around them. What is happening? How can I share my idea? How can I contribute? How can I make my community become what I want? If you don't make your community what you want, then who will come and do that for you? If we keep having the idea of, anyway, it's not working in my country, let me go out. When you go out, you will go and develop their own country while yours is still developing. Who will develop your own country?
That's it. So lack of information is a very sensitive issue that we used to put aside, and then we don't value it. Because if you are sitting in your house, and then there's maybe, for instance, there's a job opportunity in Douala, in Yaoundé. Let's just take that example. You don't have that zeal to go and maybe buy Cameroon Tribune, go and watch TV, listen to radio or news. With all those channels that we have today for free in the very cheap price. Who is going to tell you that there's a job opportunity in? So lack of information can make you to remain in the same spot after your graduation, or maybe as a young person who want to do something in life. Just maybe to get an information in order to know what is happening around you is very important.
Very important.
It's not only the matter of opportunities. It's also a matter of knowing what is happening around you in order to be updated. Not that you are living your house as if you are seeing is it 15th century?
Yeah.
No. So you have to know everything that is happening daily in your life, because that's where you start thinking that this thing that is happening in Libya, this thing that is happening in Ivory Coast, how come if this thing happened in my country, how can I make to avoid such a thing happening in my country? How can I contribute to stop disorder in my country, or
how
to
can I make my
peace?
city look good?
That is it.
Yeah.
So information is a very important tool to remain an updated person.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's why we have got a chance to act now, because in less than a month, world leaders will gather in Rio, and these various issues will be raised. So we'll want to know from you, do you have any new idea? Do you think there's anything that has been mentioned to be discussed at this conference which you think should be worked on, or you want to add something that should be discussed? Because this conference will offer a generational opportunity to hit the reset button, that is, set a new course towards a future that will balance the economic, social and environmental dimensions of prosperity and human being. Yeah.
So the discussion at the United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development in Brazil will tackle all the aspects of our life, as Christian just said, socio-cultural, economic, political, and the rest.
Yeah.
Yes, environmental, particularly environmental. So we want to hear from you, what type of future do you want as a person, that is, as a young person? What type of future do you want for your family? Maybe you are living in a very uncomfortable situation in your family. What do you think can be done in order to change the situation? Or maybe in your community, you lack water, you lack electricity, all those type of things, basic necessities. Let us understand, because you cannot sit there and then we'll just come and look at you and know that, okay, this
is what's happening.
This is the problem you have. So let us hear your voice, and you help us in how to shape the problem.
Yeah.
So before you continue with other problems that we are commonly faced in our country, let us relax or bring a break into this studio by playing this track,
Over My Head by
Neyo.
Well, dear listeners, you have been listening to Neyo in the piece Over My Head. And so we're discussing on the themes that will be discussed at the Rio Plus 20 Summit. And Nina, what do you think is another theme that is really important that will be discussed at this summit?
Okay. So I first mentioned the various themes, and then there are 7 numbers that are going to be discussed at Rio Plus 20, and we actually focus ourselves on the theme related to the problems that we are facing in our country, and particularly here in the northwest region of Cameroon. And we have talked about
jobs,
about non-participation of young people or young women in decision-making process. We have touched lack of information, lack of access to information. So right now, let us talk about water, the water issue in our country.
Well, we have different sources of water. It's left for us to know which is best and what we need to use. We have those who have connected the SNEC, and they are using water. But if we don't know how to manage what we have,
of course,
when the water is no more there, what will happen? We need to take care, manage what we have, so that in the future, those who are coming behind us will meet it there. If the water is there and we keep wasting it, we will have nothing to use. And those coming behind, when they come, they will say, anyway, if those ahead of us use this water foolishly and they still have the water to use, it means we also have this same opportunity. We have those in the rural areas who they don't get to have taps, so they have to manage their rivers.
Their streams.
Yeah, you might go to the streams, rivers, and you see someone is washing dresses here, they are carrying water at the other end, and another person is defecating on the other side. How do you manage the water? They should make sure they should check to be sure that this water we are consuming, the water is clean water, is good. Because you never know, you don't know where the water starts flowing from, and you don't know where it will end. You don't know what happens along the line. So you should be able to manage it, to take care of what you have.
Yes, you know that water is life. You cannot do any. You can't live without water.
Of course you can't.
Everything you do always need water. So when we talk about United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development, let's define what is sustainable development as you were mentioning. Sustainable development is the development that meets the needs of the present generation without compromising the ability of the future generations to meet theirs.
Yeah.
What does that mean? It means that whatsoever you are doing in this earth, using any type of resources, make sure that your grandchildren or your children will benefit from the same source of your good living tomorrow. So when we talk about water is a very, very essential necessity. You know that, Christelle, at time here in Cameroon, there's a season of cholera.
Yes.
Cholera is being caused by the fact that people are not having that clean water to drink, to consume, or to use for their digestive need. So cholera is a disease that usually affects the citizens of Cameroon.
Yeah, especially those who don't know that they need good health, and they are consuming dirty things, infected stuff.
So access to water is something very important, and we should make sure that every time we are using the water supply we have in our house, the installation from the national distributor of water in Cameroon, that is SNEC, we should make sure that we lock our tap very well. Because as the water is dropping one by one, you don't know that if you put a bucket under that tap, come after 2 hours, you see that the bucket is full.
Yeah.
And when you are misusing the water like that, that's the reason why at times you see that there are 3 days with no water.
Because water shortages.
There's water shortage to distribute to the entire community. So we should make sure the way we are using our this very necessary source of
water.
Yes, of water. So the next problem is food.
Yeah, food.
You see,
they say you cannot live without food, but it does not mean that you should waste what you have.
Of course.
So
the little one you have, know how to manage it, know how to use it. Don't say that, okay, today I have cocoa, let me just put all the cocoa in the bag in one pot because you have cocoa.
Yeah. When you are thinking of today, think of tomorrow. Don't always say God will provide and you sit and eat everything today and say God will provide. How will God provide if you have not helped yourself? We should walk. There's this idea of I will buy in the market. When there will be no money, what will you use to buy in the market? Will you steal? Will you borrow? What will you do?
Or if everybody has that money and then no farmer is there, how are you going to live?
Yeah.
So we should make sure that even around our house, we have a small garden.
Yeah.
We should make sure we can exploit it valuably.
Yeah, you can plant
anything there so that by the end, when it gives you something, you'll be the one to benefit.
You will benefit from it, and you can get what you want to get from the market and add to it instead of depending on the market every time. You are dependent on the market. If there were no farmers, where would the food come from?
Interrogation mark. You see?
No one knows.
So food is a very crucial issue.
Yeah, really.
Because if I compare the southern region of Cameroon to the northern region of Cameroon, you see that in the north, there's some particular food that you cannot find there.
Yeah.
You cannot have there. Compared to the south, there can also be particular food that you cannot
find in the north.
So Rio Plus 20 Summit on Sustainable Development is that summit where decisions are going to be taken on how there can be equal distribution of those type of food in a country like Cameroon. How can they come out with a easy transportation system so that food that are being produced in the southern region of Cameroon should be carried out to the north?
Yeah.
So those are the type of issue that Rio is actually going to address.
Yeah, and it will all be about people. It's a people summit that offers concrete hope for real improvements in their daily lives. And options before the negotiations include declaring a 0% hunger feature, a 0% lack of adequate nutrition, 0% waste of food and agricultural inputs in societies where people do not get enough to eat. And this conference will inspire people to think. They want people to bring up new ideas. They should act because they want that the old economic model should be broken down. Right now jobs are lacking. We have growth that has been stopped, and there are gaps between the rich and the poor. We want to see alarming scarcities of food, fuel, and natural resources to be worked on. Things should change. We want people to act, and these ideas need to be brought out. Because when the ideas are brought together, they will be discussed, and ideas will be shared, whereby people will have to, okay, what do I think? What can be done in this country? What should be brought out that will help this country develop from what it is? And there's one thing, we should respect nature. This earth is very kind to us. Let's reciprocate what it has given to us. Because at the Rio Summit, governments will be called to bring up smarter use of their resources. So we must make good use of the water, the air, and the forest we have. Our cities should be made more livable. It should be places where we inhabit a greater harmony with nature, whereby people should really love what they see. They should appreciate what they have.
Okay, thank you very much, Christelle, for that wonderful contribution concerning the type of the future all of us want in 20 years from now. So, dear listener, we are drawing towards the end of You Drive show, and we would like to share the last musical track by Jennifer Lopez and Lil Wayne, the title I'm Into You.
Listening to that piece from Jennifer Lopez and Lil Wayne in I'm Into You, we will be ending our show. But before we go, we want you to know that Youth Drive was brought to you by Youth Outreach Program Cameroon, and you can contact us through our Facebook page by searching for Youth Drive, or you can use our email, which is ydrive08@gmail.com. And just to tell you that you can still continue with your contributions on our page, concerning this topic, and you can search for us on the web at www.youthdrive.blogspot.com or www.yopcam.org if you want to get more information about Youth Outreach Program. Our postal address is PO Box 5185 Bamidankwe, or you can visit our office located at Maiwan Junction, Bamidankwe. Before I leave, I would like to say hi to Mr. and Mrs. Asa and the Asas family of Maiwan Upstation, not forgetting Silva, Haiji, Elvis, all of Bambili, and to say good luck to all the students writing the GCE A-levels, O-levels, not forgetting all the students writing the HND in National Polytechnic Bambri.
Thank you, dear friends of Youth Drive, for listening to today's show on The Future We Want. That is a topic in relation to the upcoming conference on sustainable development. Next, we will be back in the studio with another topic to educate and inform you on issue of prime concern to you. My name is Bukenina, and I would like to extend my greetings to Eric Mochiji, Mafo Joyce, Vera, Kanjo and Blandrin, Mr. Omar Songwe, the coordinator of Youth Outreach Program, to Francisca, to Laura, to Anu Desmond, and don't forget to greet these numbers 76629696 who beep us and
to Agwenjan patients.
Wow. Keep listening to Good Vibes on Foundation Radio. Goodbye.
On the foundation for the younger generation. On the foundation for the younger generation.